Gosh, it's crazy to think NBC Titan Games is premiering tonight. And when I look back on my journey over the last, couple years, really 5 years, like where my life is now compared to where my life was 5 years ago, it's pretty surreal to think about it. My story is, I was born and raised in Nebraska. I was a 3-sport athlete growing up. I went on to play college softball for the University of Nebraska. And I was always active. I loved competing. That's just like something, deep down inside me. But I left athletics and I went to medical school, and I felt like I was kind of taking off my athlete hat and putting on my white coat. And I had my first pregnancy during medical school, and I failed my glucose testing, which is like a test for diabetes. And I was more sedentary in medical school than I had ever been before, suddenly sitting for multiple hours per day. I wasn't eating the greatest. And here I was having a pregnancy. Then I would go on to have 2 more pregnancies. So I have 3 daughters, and I had these 3 pregnancies within 60 months. And during my 3rd pregnancy, I had a horrible, horrible tragedy happen in my life, and people are going to hear about it on the show. But it was this moment in my life where I just decided that I had to start living my life differently with like a different purpose and a different passion. And I was diagnosed with prediabetes and hypothyroidism. So to have this awful tragedy happen in your life, and you're a physician, and now you're being told that you have basically these preventable conditions, it was a huge wake-up call for me. And in 2015, I changed the way that I was eating. I eventually adopted like a low-carb ketogenic approach to get rid of my prediabetes and my hypothyroidism, which I no longer have. And I got back into the gym. But what's really crazy about the Titan Games experience is these are elite level athletes. And when I first got back into the gym, really how I was working out when I adopted this lifestyle was I was just running. I'd signed up for 2 half marathons. And, but I still wasn't at a great body composition. Now, people can look back at pictures. I've never been like obese. From the outside, people would have thought I was healthy, but you just don't know what's going on inside unless you check your numbers. So when I got back into working out, I was actually doing very low intensity exercises like Pure Barre, which is kind of like a blend of kind of yoga and Pilates, but I wasn't lifting weights. And I got back into the gym lifting heavy weights really less than 2 years ago when I competed on Titan Games, which is crazy. So really it was in March of 2018 when I walked into a local gym here in town, and I started doing heavy resistance training. And then fast forward to January when I flew out to California to try out for Titan Games. I mean, these are people, some of these people are competing, like that's their livelihood. They are CrossFitters, and they do these crazy obstacle course races. I mean, and that's not me. I work as a physician. I'm a mom of 3 little girls, and I'm standing there like, who am I? So it's crazy. So I started lifting weights, but the first season of Titan Games premiered in January of 2019. And I was walking into the operating room around that time, and I'm scrubbing into surgery, and we had these masks on and all this stuff, and this scrub tech was like, Dr. Seeman, I think you should be on NBC Titan Games. And anybody that hasn't been in an operating room, you have this mask on, you cannot hear, and you're like, what? Titan Games, what? And I didn't even know what it was at the time. And so I went home and I Googled it and I look it up, and I'm like, this looks badass, like The Rock and these. It reminded me of Gladiators, when you're a little kid. I loved that show, American Gladiators. So I started watching episodes of season 1. I mean, I think the season was like basically complete before I'd ever heard about it. And then I started following them on social media, and I saw later that year that The Rock had put out a post asking for people to apply for season 2. And I had gone so far as to like open up the application and look at what you had to do to get on the show. And like everybody can totally sympathize with this. Just an incredible amount of self-doubt just crept into my mind. There's no way I can do that. You're a doctor, you're a mom. You have only been lifting weights for, like less than 2 years. You're not in shape to do that. You don't have the body that you had when you were a college athlete, you name it. And so weeks and months went by, and eventually ended up getting contacted by somebody involved with the show just really encouraged me to put in my application. There was no guarantee for anything, so I went to the gym and I shot some videos of me working out, talked about my family and my story, and I submitted the video and waited and waited and waited many months until I found out that I was hand-selected by The Rock and by NBC to be on the show. And I still really didn't feel like it was real. Well, come to find out, I really wasn't actually selected to be on the show. They were inviting me to come to a combine where you have to physically try out, work out amongst all these other people. So in January, I flew out to California and competed at this combine. I can't tell you a lot of the details about it, but let's just say it was a physical test beyond anything I had done in a really long time, probably ever. But I met some of the most amazing people. I mean, these are people from all walks of life, and they're the best at what they do in their areas, field interest areas. And they're all great athletes. I mean, these are strong people, fast people. I walked into that room like, oh my, how did I get selected to be here? It was just super humbling. And found out a couple days after the combine, I was selected to come to Atlanta to film and to compete on NBC Titan Games, which was just a dream come true. I really applied to be on the show because I wanted to show my 3 little girls that it's not over. I felt like I'd been let out to pasture in a sense, of my athletic days, because I was becoming a mom and I was becoming a doctor. And I feel like as a woman, sometimes you have to choose. You have to choose between being a mom and having a career. And I felt like I couldn't maintain that same level of athleticism. And being on the show, I just want every little girl out there to know that they can do anything they want to do if they're willing to work for it. And I went out there to prove to my 3 little girls that this is real life. I know it's a TV show. I know people are going to watch it, and they sure make it look amazing when they put it all together. But this is real life over here. I mean, this is waking up at 4:30 in the morning and working out and just making the right choices for your health and living just a more inspired life, really. I mean, the experience to be out there in the Titan Arena and your family's watching and the crowd's cheering and there's loud music and pyrotechnics, it's like every athlete's dream. I mean, to be on that platform. And it's going to be incredible to watch it on TV, because although I was there and I know how things turn out, and of course I can't tell you any of that, it's going to be fun to watch it back, because I'll be sitting there right there with all of you watching how this gets put together and how our stories get told. And I know people are really just going to love the show. The people on NBC Titan Games is everybody from vagina doctors to, there is another doctor on the show, Cirque du Soleil performers, winemakers, monster truck drivers, opera singers, people in the military, nurses, physical therapists, firefighters. I know I'm missing some other really awesome professions that were represented, but these are like real everyday people with real lives and incredibly inspiring stories. Oh, police officers. Yeah, we have police officers too, which everybody knows I like them. But to have my little girls sitting there watching this, to see what their bodies are physically capable of doing, is incredible, because I feel like as a woman, we kind of get put in these boxes, don't be too strong, don't be too smart, don't be too sexy, don't be too this, don't be too that, and just be you. Be everything that you are and love it and embrace it and share it with the world. That's what I went to prove on NBC Titan Games. They kind of labeled me Supermom, and that's what I feel like. I hope one day my little girls really, really believe that I'm Superwoman. Modern day reality. What was it like meeting The Rock? Since coming home, everybody thinks that I'm like best friends now with DJ. That's what they called him on set. He's an amazing guy. I mean, really, really nice. But honestly, the most interaction, you come off competing and you're like sweating and you're out of breath and he like pulls you, people are gonna see it, you know, pulls you up off the mat, and you're like, I don't even know what he said. I don't even know what I said. I'm glad they have it on tape. But my little girls got to interact with him, and that's just incredible. They like drew him pictures, and he's such a nice guy, and he's such an amazing human, you know, just in athletics and in business, and he's got 3 daughters. But I think his biceps might be about as big as my quads. He's so huge. Yeah, no, I got to hug him. He's a big guy, about yay big. He's an amazing guy. It was incredible. Yeah, I met The Rock. Oh my gosh, it's showing tonight. Every time I see these promo videos come out, I'm like a sucker for a highlight video. But to watch the clips, because I've never seen it, you know, I've never seen it all put together. So I'm gonna be sitting there with, we're having a little premiere party with a small group of family and friends. Of course, coronavirus 19 compliant. But it's gonna be amazing to watch it. It's a 2-hour season premiere tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on NBC. And one of our local bakeries, Omaha Bakery, made these cookies. So blue or red, I don't know, what do you guys think? I think most people have seen I'm wearing the blue uniform tonight. So, and just so you know, this is a ketogenic cookie because Dr. Fit and Fabulous knows how to roll. So you can still live this lifestyle and eat cookies, you guys. So thanks to the Omaha Bakery for those. That's incredible, but I can't wait to watch. And please, you guys, make sure you tag me and comment, ask your questions on all my social accounts. I'll be live tweeting on Twitter, and hopefully we'll make some more YouTube videos so you guys can hear more about this experience.